Hey, this is Dave with the Good Work Project, and boy have I got a story for you today. So, have you ever been scrolling through your social media and you find a video clip that's real short and there's no story or real context to it, but it's something that occurs, and when you watch it you get this very warm, good feeling of satisfaction when you watch it? For a couple of years, those videos have been growing online in a category that people have called oddly satisfying. And they're everything from watching a master lathe operator working on wood, or whether it's a calligrapher very carefully writing letters with this special ink pen, or whether it's a pastry chef or someone who uses 3D printers, or a chef with a knife who deftly and quickly cuts food. They're all these short little videos, and they've caught this viral joy and into this category called oddly satisfying. And when I very first became aware of these type of videos, it reminded me of one of my favorite things that I thought was always really satisfying, and it's a scene in a Pixar movie. You know Toy Story 2, right? So you remember how Woody gets separated from Andy and the toy collector takes him, but when he does, toy collector realizes the arm of Andy's been ripped off, and so the collector calls in this specialist, and the specialist brings in this giant case and he drops it down in front of Woody, and he begins to very carefully wipe his eye and clean him and put his rosy cheeks back on with a little paint spray machine, re-sew his arm, fix his cap. And the last thing he does, and this is one of my favorite bits, is he takes this little paintbrush and he just very carefully but perfectly paints over the bottom of Andy's boot where it says Andy on it. And I think Pixar did an amazing job in that scene with visuals and sound. The whole thing was just incredibly satisfying. So having seen all that, there are videos on Instagram, there's videos on YouTube and Facebook, all over the place. You can find it anytime. I gotta ask, like, why? Like, why is somebody doing something like super normal, why is that so satisfying to us? What does it affect within us that gives us that good feeling? It's kind of like a Goldilocks effect where it's just right. What is it about us that loves the completion of these little simple tasks, the visualization of them, the sound? Why are we so into it? So researchers are actually trying to check this out and figure out what's going on with our brain's wiring and why we think these videos are so compelling. And there's a bit to it where they understand that there's a series of small, really discrete, very specific actions, and when they're completed with great precision, there's a checking off in a box. And that's very pleasing to us as humans. There's something very primal about watching those things completed to great precision. And there's something in that drives our preferences. There's something there that says we like when something is done incredibly well. We like when things are checked off the list. We like when things are done. So you have a project at home or a project at work, and you know you're gonna get it done. But you also realize you're not gonna get it done with deft, detailed perfection in every moment of it. And I think sometimes that really eats at us. I think sometimes realizing we're going to get it done, but that it's going to be messy, is incredibly frustrating to us. Imperfection means difficulty. Imperfection means things will be harder. Imperfection means you may not get the full experience. Imperfection means you may have to struggle to get what you want out of a thing. So often we want things to be so perfect. We want them to be so right. Thinking that way is actually stopping us from experiencing life in a more full way. What if we rewired ourselves not to ache for this perfection, this oddly satisfying completionist type feeling, but what if instead we preferred to see things in process? That project, that relationship at home, that personal goal that you have. What if it's not about I have to complete it and get it done perfectly, but what if it's look where I am now compared to where I was? Look at what has grown from this compared to what I think may someday be a thing. Here's the thing. When we don't have something completed in perfection, but we do begin to appreciate the work and process, we get to see the raw beauty of the hard work. We get to see the struggle and the grind, and we appreciate the skin in the game. We appreciate the investment that we've made ourselves or people around us have made, coworkers, neighbors, children, parents. Perfection leaves all that out. Perfection leaves out the story behind the whole thing. It's a quick hit, but it's not really the bit that's real about life. It's a gloss over. That amazing lathe artist who can spin a bowl out of something that we thought was just a lump of wood earlier, you don't see in that video the years of practice and all the crappy things he made before he became a master artist. That calligrapher drew bubble letters like you did in junior high. That pastry artist, that cake decorator, they made townhouse cookies from the freezer section just like you at one point. I would suggest that maybe our joy in life would be less about the perfection of a thing, seeing just the highlight reel, and more about seeing the process, the beauty and the labor and work of important and valuable relationships. So here's my question for you today. What do you aim for right now? Are you only looking for the oddly satisfying, or are you also finding the raw beauty in those things that you're having to build? Tell me in the comments. Drop a word, a good message, an example. Heck, even link an oddly satisfying video that you like. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.